So Franco Smith has joined us. Congratulations, Franco. Tell us what the secret was, because we talked in the build-up to this game about how Glasgow had sort of hit the skids, wounded by the quarter-final defeat in Europe and struggled to regain your rhythm. But tonight, you properly recovered your mojo out there.
Oh, thank you for that, and all glory to God, because I must say, we worked hard this last 2 weeks in restoring some of the mentality that I thought, or not thought, we could see it, there was a little bit of lack of confidence, and no, I'm happy that we could, fix that up. But again, it's if you qualify so early for the quarters, it's really tough to keep that going. If you have so many internationals, involved also in 9 test matches during the season, it makes that mental challenge tough. So yes, we were a little bit off it, but glad that we could bounce back.
Chris sort of referenced that at the beginning of the game, the knockout mentality. When you have qualified, as you just said, there is probably a tendency to ease off a little bit and relax a little bit, but when you know it's win or go home, that sharpens the senses somewhat.
Definitely, but you must also know that we speak the whole season on what the quality of the competition, the quality of the sides, and it's hard, with travelling and injuries happening, that it's hard to be on top of your game every week. And a compliment to all the teams this season. They've really made it hard for each other. It didn't go. There was no easy game. It was always tough. And again, that is the thing that I take most pride of. To end up at the top of the pile is fantastic.
A few people know the inner workings of your mind as well as Ryan Wilson over there. When Rory Darge scored that first half try, he said that is a Franco Smith special, kidding the opposition, luring the opposition into thinking you're going to go throw to the front and go for the driving ball, and all of a sudden, like a card trick, Rory Darge pops up after a couple of short passes.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. I said to him there probably won't be a hole, but you must make one. So it was. I'm really glad that worked out.
Franco, that's what I put that down to, is probably a season-long amount of work as well. It's go through the middle, drive, and then towards the end. I don't want to give away all the secrets, but now you're coming into the back end of the season. It's almost setting that up, right? That's how I see it.
Look, as long as we don't become predictable, that's important. I just want to, find different ways across the line, and I'm appreciative that it worked out often.
Chris and Tinas were arguing over who was going to get player of the match tonight, because there were so many contenders. And we talk a lot about Sione and the influence he has in this team, not just the skill set he's got, but the energy, the dynamism, the contagious energy that he brings to this team. He was brilliant tonight. So was Kyle Steyn, Kyle Rowe coming back from injury. Eventually it went to Rory Darge. Would you concur with that decision?
Yeah, look, I agree. Darge played well. He's also an important player in the pack for us, but I thought Henko Venter and Tom Jordan were excellent tonight. They actually
they both got a mention as well, to be honest.
So no, they were excellent. I thought Henko wanted to repay us for the time lost, and he did exactly that. And Tom Jordan, he's been brilliant. My heart's really sore. I think everybody leaving tonight, Sepp Cancellieri, I don't want to even mention them all. They're going to leave holes here, but they also legacy, and I think that is fantastic.
Ryan tapped it. Sorry, Andy. Ryan tapped into that. The emotion of this place. There's a real family vibe here. We saw the players with their children out on the field before the game kicked off here tonight, and you sense that once a warrior, always a warrior mantra. That is true. Everyone that is leaving will leave a piece of their heart here with them.
Well, I hope so. I think we tap so often in that the part of that emotion, and it must be true. You can't tap into something that's not the fact, and rather a perspective than a perception, and that's fantastic. To see the boys giving more from themselves than expected.
And looking at tomorrow now, great emotion out there. You get the win. Where are you going to watch the game tomorrow? And obviously Leinster coming up against Scarlets. I'm sure you want the Scarlets to win, so you get to play here. But most people will be back in Leinster. What are you going to do? Glass of red and watch it?
Yeah, I won't say completely red, but I would like to. It will be good. It's good to have played Friday night. I think we will. We're eager to wait and see, and this last 2-3 days took forever to get past. So it is good to now start looking ahead and what's going to happen next, and we'll. Whatever comes our way, it's going to be our third trip somewhere or not. So we will just make sure that we, recover well and make sure that we have good physical condition next week.
Just one, and you mentioned the word confidence at the start there.
and how important it was, and you could see how confident a performance it was. How do you get that confidence without a game? You've said you found it in training. What did you do to instill that confidence that you know it would come out in a big occasion?
Chris, good people makes good players. You know, you can coach and ask more. It's in there. They've never lost it. It is just to unravel that again a little bit once all the pressures of the end of the season. You know, we tried too hard to be second in the competition. I think the weight of playing the semi-finals at home became too much to bear in the end, and it's not just in the games. It's also in training during the week. I don't think everybody out there understands what is expected of the players mentally and physically. You're on a high, you're second in the competition, and they're expected to give more because the next team you're going to play plays their final against you. They beat the champions of last year, and it's a successful season for them. So to be up there every week, so it's understandable they're human after all.
Just for me, you're now in the semi-finals. You park all of the season, everything that's happened, and pretty much just look at what happened today. How important was it to find momentum today and find a good performance? Because we all chatted about it before. We stuttered almost a little bit coming into this game. Now you look to have found a little bit of momentum of this and building this. Was that really important? Was that spoke about in the week?
Yeah, it's a different competition. You know, the moment the 18th game is played, that's a different competition completely. You work so hard to get to this point, then the approach changes. It's knockout rugby. It changes. That brings a little bit more excitement because it's you take a little bit of a different approach up there in the office. But I think the important thing here is that the players, the way they react to the competition. You know, I think it's our 12th playoff game tonight here since I came, and the boys have learned, they adapt, they understand, and they look forward to it. And I think that is the compliment sit with them. You know, they really work hard and they believe in what we do. So and again, you know, through the grace, we keep everything standing.
Well, Franco, we will meet again this season. Whether it's back here in a week's time or over in Dublin is yet to be told. That will all depend on tomorrow. Enjoy it with your glass of red, and thanks for coming over as always.
Thank you very much.
Have a good night. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Franco.
Franco.
Thank you very much.